Now I will tell you how to create the project codes and their values. You have to go to the enterprise and then go for the project codes. Here there is a message, no project codes are defined. Click on modify to add a new code type. So simply click OK. Here you see that there is no project code available right now. So we are going to add some project codes like project location, project type, a responsible person, etc. So we are going to modify, and here you can add project codes. Here we are entering the two project codes. One is the project type. You can use the shortcut key as an insert. Both of the project codes have been defined, project type and location. Now we have to give the project type and location as values. So simply close it. Now you can see what project codes have been defined can be listed here. So simply click on location, then then press the add button. Here you can define the locations. You can segregate your projects location wise. So I am writing here two locations. By defining these locations, you can segregate your projects according to the location. Now we are using another project code, that is project type. You can add different type of project types like EPC projects, like project management consultancy projects, build on operate projects. So we are entering here these values. If you want to shift from the code value to the code description, you can simply use the tab button. It will shift to the other cell. Here our project codes have been defined. These project codes can be assigned to the different projects depending upon the requirement. So once you have created the project, then you can assign these project codes. Now I will tell you how to create the global and project calendars. Go to the enterprise menu and then calendars option. Here you can see at the top three types of calendars you can define: global, resource, and project. Global calendar Global calendar pool contains those calendars which can be applied to all of the projects. Resource calendar pool can be applied to each resource. If we want to define a separate calendar for resource like crane, like welding inspector, etc., you can create that calendar here. Then coming to the project calendar pool can be a separate pool of calendars for each project. We can create and assign calendars to each activity and each resource. These calendars define the working hours in each calendar day. We can specify the national holidays, organizational holidays, working and non-working holidays, etc. So now we are going to create a new calendar. So we can see a list of existing calendars. So we are going to create a new one. So on the right side you can see this add button. Press this add button. You have to choose one of the calendar because you have to create a new calendar, so you have to take some calendar as a base. So I am going to select 7 days work week as a new calendar. all the properties of this calendar will be copied to the new calendar. We have to modify according to our requirement. Suppose we are here to make two calendars. One is head office calendar, because our project will be an EPC project. Engineering and procurement will be handled in head office, and we will prepare calendar for those activities separate, and our construction will be managed by another calendar. We will call that calendar as a site calendar. So you can create different type of calendars for one project. After defining the calendar name, go to the modify button. Here you can see this window. Here you can see the calendar calendar days. The most important thing is you have to change the time periods. You have to specify the working hours according to the user requirement. So this is an head office calendar, so we assume that we are working 8 hours per day and 5 days a week. So here we will mention 40 hours per week, hours per month 170, and hours per year 2000. Then we have to go to work week. Here you can see that all of the days are working. It means that 8 hours in each window is typed. So you can put here 0 Saturday and Sunday. It means that you are going to consider Saturday and Sunday off. After clicking OK, you can see in the background these Saturday and Sunday now are become off. This color is showing that these days are off. Now if you want to add some gazetted holidays, I will tell you how to do this. So we are going to add the Christmas holidays. So we will simply select this date and press as a non-work. You can also do this by simply double clicking. It will get off. So in this way you can define the calendars and their gazetted holidays. So one of the calendar has been defined. We will press OK. Now I will tell you how to create a site calendar. There will be a difference between the head office and site calendar. So I am going to create a new calendar. So I will press add button. Then I have to choose the calendar as a base. So I am going to choose again 7-day work week calendar. I am writing the name of calendar as a site calendar. Then I will go to modify button. Then again go to the time periods. Here I will enter the hours conditions according to the site. So I will put here 10 hours per day, 6 days a week, 26 days in a month, and 310 hours per year. Now I will go to the work week. Normally, our site working hours are considered 10 hours per day. So I am putting 10 hours a day and keeping the Sunday off. So I will just type 0, and you will see at the background that this blue color is showing that Sunday is off. Same, we are going to give the gazetted holidays in the month of December for Christmas. So I will just click on this date and press this non-work button, or other way is to just simple double click. It will get off, and you can see at the top here work hours per day, it will automatically become 0. If you click on other button, this is showing that 10 hours per day is planned according to our requirement. So this is very important. The calendar should be very accurate, because the schedule will be our dates will be based on these calendars. Now we are going to define a project. There are two ways to define a project. One is just go to the file menu and click new. Here a wizard will be open. So you have to define that in which EPS you are going to define a project. There are three different EPS are prepared: manufacturing, plant construction, and building construction. We have to decide which kind of project we are dealing with, so it will be defined in that EPS. Suppose we are going to define a building construction project, so we will select an EPS of building construction. Then I will press next button. You can see here the project ID. Project ID is unique. You can type any ID. So I am just putting here ID as TR01. Project name I am mentioning here as a training project. Then click next button. Here you can change the project plan start date. So I am just considering that our project is going to start on 1st May 2019. There is an option of must finish by. You can specify the must finish by date as well, but no, leave it is as blank. No problem. The Primavera will automatically calculate the project finish date by using the forward pass and backward pass. Then click next button. Here you see that who is the responsible manager for this project. So you know that this project was defined in the building construction projects EPS. So there will be a PM who will be responsible for managing the building construction projects. So I will go to the building construction OBS, and here I will find PM building project. So I will simply select this PM as a responsible person for this project. Then click next, next, finish. Congratulations, your project has been defined. Now you can see your project under the building construction EPS. I told you while creating the project codes that once we will create the project, then we can assign the project codes. So now we are going to assign the project codes. So you can go simply in the codes tab. This is the project details tab. So you are going to assign the project codes. So simply go to the codes tab. Here is the button assign. So after highlighting the project, you will click here assign. Then you can assign the project codes according to your requirement. For example, this project is going to be located in the Punjab. So I will select Punjab. The other is project type. Suppose we are doing the project management consultancy for this project, so I will click project management consultancy. You can see at the bottom these project codes have been assigned. Some of the important settings you have to do after defining the project. So we will go to the defaults tab. Here we will select different conditions according to our site requirements. Duration type. For example, our project is a construction project in which the total duration and the units like man-hours and cost is fixed. So we are going to select this option. There are other options as well, but here we are going to use the fixed duration and units. Here is the percentage complete type. This is related to the progress update. So on what basis you are going to update the progress? Suppose we are going to use the units based because we have quantified all the activities, cost, resources, man hours. So our progress will be based upon the units. So we are going to select units. Activity type, it will remain as a task dependent. But if you here is the auto numbering defaults. When you define the activity ID, there is an option that you can use some prefix before activity ID suffix. So I will mention here as a trng. This ID is for training purpose, so you can specify according to your requirement. For example, in the construction project, you can use CON. In the procurement, PRO. You can change according to your requirement, but here I am using as a TRNG for training purpose. Now I will go to the dates tab. Here you can see that project plan start date, it was given by us 1 May 2019. The data date is showing the current date. So I am going to put data date as 1st of May as well, because our baseline data date should be matched with the project start date. Then coming to the settings tab, there is nothing to change here. Then we will go to the calculations tab. Here are some of the settings we have to consider before going further into the project details. Like you have to uncheck this one, recalculate actual units and cost when duration percentage complete changes. Here is an option, activity percentage complete based on activity steps. If we are going to use the percentage complete type as a physical, in which you can use different kind of items, you can divide activity into different steps. For example, you have an activity of rebar fixing. You can divide this activity rebar fixing in different steps, like shifting of rebar from the store to the rebar yard, cut and bend, then shifting to the side. Normally, when you shift the steel after cutting and bending to the side, there is some percentage associated with these activities. So, if you want to update the progress on the basis of these steps, you have to specify the steps against each activity. In this way you can define you can add the progress. So this option is only valid for the physical type of percentage complete. We are going to discuss some other information in the project details tab. Here is the general button. Here you can see the project ID, project name. So project ID and project name can also be changed from here. There is an option of changing the project name and ID from here as well. It is very user-friendly software. It can be easily modified. Here you can see the status, active, inactive, planned, what if. It can be changed according to the project status. The responsible manager you can change from here as well. If you have assigned a wrong project manager, you can click on this button and see the drop down list, and you can select the respective responsible manager. This is the list which the same list which we have created in the OBS. Then coming to the next tab, notebook. Here you can add the important information regarding the project, like important notes, kickoff meeting notes, etc. You can put here as a reference. Then there is a budget log. Here you can define the original budget, current budget, and the proposed budget. And at the bottom you can see this is the budget change log. You can put the change log information here as well. Then we are going to in the next tab, that is spending plan. The month wise spending plan you can also define here. Then we are going in the budget summary tab. Here you can see the total available budget, total current budget, unallocated, allocated, whatever the variance between the current and the revised budget, you can put it here. Then coming to the dates tab again, just for information again, I want to share that these two dates should be remain as same, because this is the baseline schedule we are going to prepare. So at the start these both dates remain same. Then there is an option of funding. You can add the funding source as well here, from where you are getting the funds. Course tab has already been discussed. Defaults tab has also been discussed. Resources tab will remain as it is. Settings and calculations are also discussed already.